I've got the whole floor in, and I was actually able to cut out and use the stock floor bolts down there in a couple different areas, as you can see. This floor was actually super easy to install because I had the old floor in here, and I was able to make a template out of that to make it cut around the wheel wells and everything perfect. So what I'm going to do next actually is get some of this stuff called the Great Stuff. It's an expandable foam that I'm going to squirt into all of these little cracks here to fill out all that little area. I'm also doing some of the insulation right now. With this job, to save a little bit of money, we went with this rock wool. You can purchase it at Home Depot. It is a fire and soundproofing insulation for the interiors of walls and houses and stuff. It's also water resistant, so it'll actually work pretty well in the van with moisture and whatnot. It is a lot easier to work with as well because there's no fiberglass in there. It's a lot better for this van purpose because it's going to be inside the van. It's actually made of wool. So that's going to be going, as you can see, I put a little bit just inside the door panel right now. You got to be careful when you put it inside door panels with like handles and locks and stuff, just so that you don't get it in the way of all the cords that need to actually have some movement. So as well, I'm going to be filling up all these little gaps with this spray foam a little bit here. I'm not going to put any right here because we're actually going to have like a little pocket right here in that door. But yeah, next process will be to just finish insulating the floor, and you'll see that in a minute here. Now that the insulation's in, I'm going to use this Great Stuff. It's pretty much foam in a can to get in any little places that I can't get the foam into. For instance, into these little holes. I'm just going to fill her up. Also, over here, little spots like this, around the wheel wells especially, because it gets really loud with the tires. See it, just fill it in, and then it'll get nice and hard in a couple minutes. All those little spots. I'll also fill around these little gaps here as well. This is all the insulation for now. I will do a little bit more, but I'd say this is probably 70% of it done. You can see I have all that wool shoved in any possible place here, up all along here. Any place that there's not wool, that's gonna be a window. On the door here, it's gonna be a window that I'm gonna put in a couple days also. Got some in there. Not too much though, to not disturb all the different lines for the unlocking system. Just literally everywhere possible. Whenever there's not insulation, there's the expanding foam. As you can see, I'll let it dry a little bit overnight and I'll cut off the rest so it's nice and flat. So when I lay my paneling, it'll be flat here and won't go bump over that. I'll hide these wires up into the paneling here, then the roof will come down under it, or ceiling I should say. But yeah, looking pretty good. As you can see, I've also started caulking in down here with some liquid nail. That'll fill in all the little cracks as well as keep the floor glued to the side of the vehicle so it doesn't squeak or move around at all. So this is a pretty good way to insulate your van. For all the wool that I have inside of the van right now, about 5 cans of spray foam and one tube of liquid nail. I'm gonna need a second tube. For instance, all that was about $100 in materials. It's $50 for the wool, about $3.50 a can of the spray foam, and I'm gonna use some inch actual styrofoam up here in the ceiling for this this insulation before I put the ceiling in. So honestly, you can probably get away with under $200, $150 really of insulation for your van if you do it right and use some of these different kinds of materials. So thanks for watching. Follow me for the rest of the steps of this build.